Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Zion City Council of February 16th to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Here.
Commissioner Holmes,
Here.
Commissioner Frierson,
Here.
Mayor McKinney. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner McDowell,
Here.
Mayor McKinney.
Here. Item number 3.
Did you hear me? Here.
Yes, Commissioner Holmes, we hear you.
Item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the
of the
United
United States of America and to the republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
Thank you.
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
and
justice for all. Commissioner McDowell, would you like to lead us in prayer?
To the flag
Let's pray
of the United.
for the display of your awesome power as we watched the snow come. Thank you, Father, for keeping us safe in the city. We ask for your continued blessing on our city. And we ask, Lord, for wisdom in this meeting.
Liberty and
Amen.
justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 4, are there any agenda changes by any of the commissioners?
Yes, Mayor, I have an agenda change.
Okay,
I'd like to move to remove item 12, closed session. I've been informed by the city administrator that it is not necessary to have a closed session tonight.
okay.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Are there any other agenda changes?
Mayor,
Commissioner,
I also have aye.
Okay, got it.
Aye.
Okay,
I didn't hear Commissioner Holmes as she was breaking up. So Cheryl, if you heard her, could you repeat the motion?
she voted aye
Oh, okay.
for the agenda changes.
Can you hear me? Aye.
Yes. Yes. Are there any additional agenda changes?
Mayor, I also have agenda changes. I do.
Okay,
I am requesting for item 9C. I wanted to make a motion for that to be tabled tonight. And for discussion at the either the March 2nd council meeting based on things that have transpired to date regarding this item, and all the communications that are germane to this matter.
Is there a second?
Point of order, I don't know if we can have a table motion as part of agenda changes. I think we have to wait for the item to be brought up on the agenda. Can the
So
can
I
the
have-
attorney please clarify?
Yeah.
Mayor, I also wanted to make a motion for item 9D. Can you hear me?
One second. Commissioner Fischer, to answer your question, our attorney is going to
I'm
answer your
gonna make
question.
a motion for
Commissioner Holmes?
I think
item
we need
9D.
to-
There was a
To refer
procedural.
that matter back to the Planning and Zoning Commission
Commissioner,
for discussion no later than its next meeting would be March 4th.
Commissioner Holmes, can you hear us? So Commissioner Fischer, Mr. Chair, if you want me to
Yeah.
address that. I don't see a problem with actually having that tabled at this point in time.
Okay.
It's a courtesy and there's nothing in either Robert's rules and or the city code to allow for that not to happen. So
We're on a meeting. and they
Commissioner
can
Fischer,
never
if you wanna
hear me 'cause
pull-
it can never-
if you want
breaks
to pull
up all the
items
time.
9C and D up on a motion and have them addressed now, we can do that if you prefer, but I don't see it as being required.
Okay, I just want clarification.
I'm
'cause-
going to try a different.
And I think we need we need to contact Commissioner Holmes and get her to reconnect, because obviously
I'm
there's
sorry,
a technical issue.
Has the motion heard?
No, it was very choppy. So if you could repeat the motion, you've been very garbled with your first motion.
We already have a motion and
And
a second and
on the first item.
agenda changes.
Okay, so clerk, please call the roll on item 9 on the agenda change for 9C.
So is it 9C and D or is it just 9C?
The first motion, as I recall, Madam Clerk, was for item 9C
To be tabled,
to be
correct?
tabled, yes.
Right. And then I
And-
thought I heard her say something about 9D.
Right, but we got to deal with one motion first.
Oh, we have to do one at a time?
Yes,
Okay.
And we have a second on that?
yes, we had a second.
Who was the
Okay.
second?
Can't.
Who was the second?
Who is the second?
I'll second it.
Who seconded the
Yes,
motion?
I'm hearing you intermittently.
Okay. Commissioner Fischer,
Motion to table, aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Holmes, can you type in your response?
It's got to be oral.
Can I skip over her?
You can skip it. You can go to the next
Commissioner Frierson,
one. Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye.
Real quick, I have Commissioner Holmes on phone on speaker. So we can get that, hopefully her audio through that.
Okay. This is for the motion to table 9C. Commissioner Holmes,
Yes, so I also had a
You need
motion
to
for
vote on
item
nine.
9D.
Abs-
My motion
Absolutely.
is to
Can-
refer this
if-
item back to the Planning and
Okay,
Zoning Commission.
my first motion, if everybody can hear me now, was
Might need to have you
for
on your-
item,
on your Zoom call.
for 9C.
So to reiterate. Item
Can we go with,
9D.
can we go with 9C first?
I thought we
I want,
voted.
yes. 9D, I want to make a motion to,
Wow.
okay.
Really bad.
1 second, I'm sorry. I'm going to work this out with Commissioner Holmes real quick.
That was
City Clerk
Commissioner
Cooner, we're gonna-
Frierson.
Motion. We need a motion to do it.
Aye.
I,
So I unmuted real quick. We're still hearing lag come through from her original call, so we're letting that kind of clear the queue. And then we'll resume just on phone audio.
This is for 9C.
did I take it? from my phone? Yeah, that's fine.
So since we're also doing these one at a time, I'll make a motion to take.
Yes, so I also had a motion for item 9D. My motion is to refer this item back to the planning commission. Okay.
Did anyone else hear that?
No, we're still having technical difficulties. So I'd like someone, I think we might need to take a 5-minute recess to get Commissioner Holmes' audio intact because she is breaking up.
Okay. I'll make a motion for a 5-minute recess until we can work out technical issues.
Is there a second?
Who is the second?
Second, Commissioner Frierson.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Holmes.
I think it's a given she can't respond.
Okay, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Our apologies for the technical difficulties we're having in running this meeting. There's beauty in technology, and the ugly side of it is just showed itself in our not being able to hear what was being said by Jackie Holmes, our commissioner, who was making motions. Those motions are going to be stricken from the record because they were inaudible. So for us to resume the meeting, I would like it if the clerk would call the roll again.
Mr. Mayor,
I can't unmute. Oh. Commissioner Fischer?
Are we doing the roll call?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Here,
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Here.
Commissioner McDowell?
Here.
Mayor McKinney?
Here. Our city attorney is going to have a brief explanation of what happened and why. Again, our sincere apologies for the delay. We know we have citizens on, we have people that want to make comments about this. This has been tough for all of us, so thank you for your patience.
So thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor alluded to, there were two motions made, or there were multiple motions made relative to some procedural matters. And as the mayor alluded to, they were inaudible for most of the audience and the commissioners, including the clerk, who is the by statute keeper of records of the municipality. So in order to rectify that inaudibility and inability to hear what was going on, we would ask that the prior two motions be stricken based upon the fact that essentially they were inaudible from the movement and the second.
I'll make a motion to strike those prior motions due to technical issues.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I think Commissioner Frierson and Commissioner McDowell need to be unmuted.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Item number 4, do any of the commissioners have any agenda changes?
I'll make a motion on agenda changes. I move to move items 9C and D to agenda changes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Item number 5, citizens' comments.
Excuse me, Mayor, I have additional motions to make.
Excuse me, my bad.
I would like to remand item D, 9D, to the Planning and Zoning Commission for reconsideration.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye.
Can I get a brief
I have
Yeah.
a further motion. I have motioned that item 9C be tabled until the March 2nd meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Yes, our city attorney would like to make another statement here.
And I just want to make a clarifying statement relative to the procedural matters here. So a motion to remand is to set a thing aside, oftentimes for procedural matters, like this matter, for additional fact-finding or curing procedural defects or reviewing procedural matters, such as what we are doing here today, to send this back to the Planning and Zoning Board for the City of Zion for additional findings and to answer additional questions. A motion to table is somewhat self-explanatory, and it is not debatable, and this just sets this matter over for consideration by the corporate authorities of the City of Zion to March the 2nd, 2021. I hope that, and again, I do apologize for any technical difficulties, but I hope that that provides some clarification as to what the procedural steps that have been taken are.
Thank you, Counselor. Item number 5, citizens' comments. I know we have several written comments. And if there are any speakers that are going to make comments, as per our city code, the comments are limited to 3 minutes.
I would like to read the comments into the record that I received by email. First one is from Denise Lear. My question is, I have noticed vehicles being ticketed and red sign along 31st east of Lewis. Is this going to continue? On the street parking, has it always been a parking violation after a certain hour? If the city needs funds, this is a great way to start. Also, at one time, the city would go on private property and a ticket abandoned vehicles with bad registration. What happened to this? Next comment. Hello, my name is Jeanette Rivera. I am the mother of 2 of Miss Chrissy's prior students, Brianna and Junior. They started with Miss Chrissy when my son was 3 and my daughter was 5. They are now 17 and 19 years old. I will say till this day that what Miss Chrissy has done for my 2 children is a blessing, and her students now at Zoe Life Academy will also be blessed as well for having her as their teacher, their comfort zone, their peace, and a place to grow where they will be amazing. What Miss Chrissy has to offer these children will forever be with them and who they will grow up to be. That statement, "It takes a village to raise a child," goes far beyond words with Miss Chrissy. She has devoted her life to her students, and I can literally say this is because we grew up together and graduated at the same high school. She has been with my children since they were 3 and 5. What Miss Chrissy has done for us is amazing. She helped my children be themselves and expand in so many ways. She broke them out from being shy, quiet, and educated them. She made my children feel that when they went to the daycare with her, they could dream big, have fun, and be normal children, especially in an environment that we grew up in, which was not safe. This is what is needed for the city of Zion. ZLA is not something Miss Chrissy is doing just for the moment. She has been putting her all in her children for many years and continue to do so. This is her life. These children need her. They need their safe zone that they can go to, be great, grow, and aspire in life. Please, City Council, be a part of what has always been great and allow ZLA to continue our children and community strong. Junior and Brianna. As prior student of Miss Chrissy, we know that being at her school really helped us feel like normal kids, since the area we lived in was not very good, so coming to her class made us forget that. She helped us make us confident and good, which I'm sure the kids at Zoe Life Academy wouldn't get from a cannabis company. Also, we know Miss Chrissy isn't doing this for money or to just do it. She genuinely loves to help kids grow and learn that the environment you are born in doesn't define you as a person, which again is what she taught us. We now rest our case, as I know you all will hopefully make the right decision and choose children over cannabis. Jeanette Rivera. Give these kids a school already, they deserve it. Claudia Sineros. This school has done nothing but move in excellence. Can you imagine if they were able to continue to teach small children how to walk, grow, and learn excellence in their own space? They would contribute so much to the world around them. Don't just uproot these children and their families. Show them that these children do matter and are wanted right in our society. Leslie Morales. This is what our kids need. We need a place where our Black and brown kids are put first and have a better chance at success. It will be affordable, and I'm willing to make the financial sacrifice each month for a better education for my children. Let them be great for once. Anonymous Zion resident. There should not have to be a petition when it comes to the education of our youth ever. Christina Malden. Children over cannabis, do the right thing. Latoya Harris, kids need a safe place to be taught. Think about our kids. Anonymous, Wadsworth resident. Children deserve a great and positive environment to thrive. Jasmine Barker, education should always come first. Elizabeth Coleman, I stand with ZLA. I graduated law school with Chrissy, and if anyone is going to serve Zion and these kids, it's her. I support the cannabis industry, but your money should be better spent serving the youth. Choose wisely, choose the children. Anonymous, hashtag stand with ZLA. Shanice Adams, the city of Zion needs to right their wrong, own it, period. Shannon Phelps, ZLA over cannabis growth. Children are the future. It's devastating. A petition needs to be signed. Anonymous, keep education alive. Anonymous, I stand with ZLA. I stand with the kids. I stand with the educational opportunities. I stand with morality. I stand with ZLA. Eugenia McNeely, as an educator, I see the need of programs like this in our communities. Manuel Jimenez, my children attend ZLA and it has been a tremendous blessing to our family. In the midst of a pandemic, it's become a safe place for my children to flourish academically, spiritually, and socially. Zion should invent more into your youth than business that will perpetuate violence and crime. Natoya Franklin, my son has special needs and has been with the school since he was 5. He is now 11. They have become such a blessing in every way possible. Please don't take this school away. Let this children be able to experience the learning and love that these teachers have to give. It is amazing. Adrian Geeter, I choose to support the cause for choosing children over cannabis, people for profit, and not revoke the special use permit just granted for Zoe Life Academy. Coretta Braithwaite, our children deserve an education. Denise Ladd, prayers up to heaven that this will happen for our community. Michelle Batts, I hashtag stand with ZLA. We are choosing children over cannabis. Catrice Holmes, I stand with ZLA. Michelle Russell Murphy, hashtag I stand with ZLA. I stand with ZLA and I condemn the city of Zion for attempting to prohibit the duly licensed childcare that is ready and able to open and serve the parents and children of Zion and Lake County. Zion claims that the daycare use will result in a violation of state law, but the cannabis farm concept they seek to protect is not and will likely never be licensed to operate in Zion. It's a battle the city has fought for 6 years and lost. The city of Zion needs to accept that the city of Aurora won the cannabis license, and Zion needs to promote the opening of small businesses like ZLA in Zion and find other creative means of filling their budget deficit without the cannabis farm. I stand with ZLA. Melanie McNeely. Rondell Hunt, I hashtag stand with ZLA. We stand with ZLA. Thank you, Ms. Chrissy, for always being the voice for the children. Jeanette Rivera, do not revoke the special use permit just granted to Zoe Life Academy. Lisa Robb, Zion City Council, hashtag stand with ZLA. Patricia Dennis. That's the end of the comments.
All right. Thank you all for your comments and your thoughts, and again, your patience. Were there any other citizen comments? Mr. McNeely, I saw you raise your hand. And you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. A lot has been said, and I'll be brief. To the leaders of Zion, I'd like to say there are two kinds of sins: the sin of omission and the sin of commission. My thoughts for Zion is that I always thought somehow that, we were more even spiritually conscious than other people. But let me just read this thought. Some people might think it's silly, but I think this will sum it up. Luke 10:30. I want to read from this passage. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. Who's passing by? So too, a Levite went, and when he came to the place and saw him, he passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 silver coins and gave to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have incurred. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber? The expert in the law required the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. My prayer on this matter is that we do the right thing and speak up and do right. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. McNeely.
Eugenia Olison.
I think there's another citizen's comment. I wasn't sure of the name, Galena Olson.
Hi, it's Eugenia Olison. I just wanted to say that in the political era that we're in right now, it's very important for establishments and organizations and leadership to keep their word. If a permit was issued to ZLA, if you want to be a place or people that people understand as being honest and upright and exercise integrity, you will keep ZLA open.
Thank you for your comments, Eugenia. I think that's the end of our citizens' comments. Item number 6, consent agenda.
Approval of minutes of a regular meeting held on February 2nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. Approval but not release of closed session minutes of a meeting held on February 2nd, 2021 at 7:54 p.m.
Is there a motion
I'll
for the
move to
approval of the
approve.
minutes? Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson, Commissioner Frierson,
Second.
is that an aye? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Item number 6B.
Bills, vouchers 136702 through 136821, drawn on Huntington National Bank, total $784.99.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the bills.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes? Commissioner Frierson?
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell?
Aye.
Mayor McKinney?
Aye. Item number 7C is a proclamation for a National Day of Racial Healing, whereas we have all witnessed racial divisiveness rising in America's urban, rural, suburban, and tribal communities today that threatens the very core of this great country's unified front. And whereas just like those who came before, it is our duty to protect the children of this country and maintain communities in which they may all be given the opportunity to succeed. And whereas we understand and recognize that there is a racial divide in our country, and we must all work earnestly to heal the wounds created by racial, ethnic, and religious bias and build an equitable and just society so that all children can thrive. And whereas children have the right to be provided every opportunity to learn, to grow and thrive in nurturing environments that don't violate their safety, dignity, and humanity. And whereas every single person has the capability to make a simple change within himself or herself that can have a profound effect on an entire society. And whereas if we all dedicate ourselves to the principles of truth, racial healing, and transformation, we can all bring about the necessary changes in thinking and behavior that will propel this great country forward as a unified force where racial biases will become a thing of the past. And whereas racial healing is a vital and crucial commitment to the education, social, mental, and overall well-being of all of our children, and whereas the City of Zion, in conjunction with others throughout the United States of America, acknowledges the Tuesday following Martin Luther King Jr. Day as the National Day of Racial Healing, and urges all citizens to promote racial healing and transformation in the ways that are best suited for them individually as a means to working together to ensure the best quality of life for every child. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Billy McKinney, City of Zion, on this 16th day of February 2021, do hereby proclaim that this city honors and recognizes the Tuesday following Martin Luther King Jr. Day as the National Day of Racial Healing. Is there a motion?
I'll move to accept the proclamation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. So I guess before we move on to item 7, I guess there were a couple of extra citizen comments that needed to be made that had their hands up and we didn't catch it. One was Ms. McNeely. Krystle McNeely. You need to unmute yourself. Could we Yeah, we can hear you now. Again, just to remind, 3 minutes for citizens' comments and.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We were unmuted and we couldn't get our hands up. So that's why I held my sign up, but appreciate it. So I just had prepared a statement for tonight, even though it's going to be tabled. So I'll begin. Remembrance, a term which ironically could be easily forgotten. To remember means to bring to mind or to think again. This week I began to remember. I brought back to mind my why. Why did I start ZLA and what did I want to see? I didn't necessarily forget, but I wanted to be reminded of the reason why we're here. As some could imagine, the thought of having to have a conversation about why education for Black and Brown children is important, it's exhausting. Having to think about convincing people of why they should care, that's exhausting. Thinking about the people who've smiled and agreed with our vision, but struggle with speaking up and taking a stand that may have damaged their reputation, that is exhausting. So I had to remember, I had to bring back to mind and think of our babies, the current ones and the future ones. If they had words to advocate for themselves, what would they say? The children of this generation will have to face some of the most intelligent and sophisticated institutional racism this nation has ever seen. And they need a place where the teachers and the programming prepares them for the real world and prepares them for life, a Zoe life. My people have come from a history and a past of overt racism, but the sort of division and discrimination of the current times is some of the most advanced this world will ever know. Racism isn't just talking about us to our face, but it's limiting resources, drawing inequitable educational boundary lines, and deciding what school gets funding based on tax dollars, placing barriers and systems that only some of the strongest can overcome. Now, is that justice? Just in case we need a reminder of what justice is, it's the quality of being just and fair. Fair is marked by impartiality and honesty, free from self-interest, prejudice, and favoritism. So again, is that justice? You may be thinking this isn't about race, but it is. I'm sure if these babies were yours, you'll stand here and fight just as hard as I am or these people on this call, maybe even harder. If you were a ZLA scholar, you would want me to do as I am, crying loud and sparing not. I have a duty, a burden, and a responsibility to stand and fight no matter how tired I may get. The city says there are compatibility issues with our zoning, safety issues, but those aren't for the city to decide. DCFS, fire marshals, and Illinois Rule 407 decides that. The city discussed buffer zone and strategic plans, but what is your plan for the children in our community? What do you think about the small businesses that want to come into your community? It is clear that the city regrets the decision that they made and was probably one of the largest administrative mistakes this city has ever seen. But please don't disenfranchise us for your own agendas without making this right. This is a day where I wish I spoke another language because I don't know how else to say that our children matter. Black children matter, brown children matter, and education matters. So yes, this has been exhausting. Again, I have only one question. Will you remember? Remember where you were when you needed someone to believe in you, what you needed someone to say or do on your behalf. ZLA will be a lighthouse, an answer, and an arm for generations to come. Will I be able to tell them that the city of Zion stood alongside me, or will I have to say that they were an obstacle we had to overcome? Either way, ZLA will be coming to Zion this year, and I will not stop until I get justice for these babies. I won't rest till they have an equal opportunity to have equitable education and the best this world has to offer. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. There was another comment from a Manuel Jimenez. If I didn't, Mr. Jimenez, would you like to make comments? Limit to 3 minutes, please. You're muted at the moment.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to make a quick comment in terms of Zolife. I just wanted Krystle and everyone else to actually speak who had their hand raised. But besides the facts and how the Zoom session is going, I believe everything's going to speak for itself in the future. So I just wanted to say that I stand with Zolife and everyone else who is here on behalf of it. And besides the technical difficulties, I am a high school teacher, so I know how it is. But for further advance, just a little bit of recommendation, just please be more prepared for other people who have other sessions. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing. And I support Ms. Mcneely here.
Thank you. Item number 7, consider passing resolutions as follows. Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT resolutions for maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under Illinois Highway Codes per Director Roberts.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Attached is a resolution required from IDOT to perform work within the IDOT right-of-way. This resolution allows the city to install or maintain their utilities without having to issue a surety bonds for each permit. It also allows the city to perform emergency work by verbal approvals if necessary. The resolution is for 2 years and the staff recommends and requests approval accordingly.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there discussion? Clerk, please call the roll. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Item number 8, consider passing ordinance as follows. 8A, abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2020 to pay the principal and interest on $2,500,000 taxable general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2012 of the City of Zion, Lake County, Illinois, per Administrator Nabel.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Just so everybody knows, what an abatement of levy means is basically that we are not going to levy taxes to pay for the principal and interest on these bonds. When the bonds are written, our taxing authority is basically their collateral. So they write the bond saying you're going to set aside the money for next year's principal and interest. And if you do that in a separate escrow account that they control, if you do that, you can abate the taxes, meaning you don't levy for them. If we didn't do that, then we would be required to levy additional funds to cover the debt service so that the bank, the underwriters, have collateral in their bonds. So since the funds for this were set aside in December and the escrow in accordance with the bond agreement, we are coming now and requesting for the abatement of the principal and interest amount from the 2020 tax levy. The total amount of the abatement for the Series 2012 is $455,800.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to abate the 2,500,000 taxable general obligation bonds.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Item number 8C, abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2020 to pay the principal of an interest on $3,140,000 taxable general obligation refunding bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2017 of the City of Zion, Lake County, Illinois, per Administrator Nabel.
Thank you again, Mayor and Commissioners. Similar to the prior amount, this is just on the Series 2017 instead of the 2012 bonds. And I would request the abatement in the amount of $290,314.75 for the tax year 2020.
Is there
I'll
a
make
motion?
that motion.
Second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Item number 9, discussion authorization approval. Item 9A, consider approval of a contract between the City of Zion and Christopher Burke Engineering for engineering services and request permission to advertise for bids for the 2022 road projects per Director Roberts.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Attached is a proposal for Christopher Burke Engineering Services for the fiscal year 22 road program engineering services. The proposal is providing the engineering design and preparation of bidding documents for the resurfacing and or reconstruction of approximately 18 to 20 blocks of city streets. Staff requests and recommends approval for the proposal of engineering services from Christopher Burke Engineering for a cost of $69,000 and to advertise for bids.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Item number 9B, consider approval of a supplemental resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code MFT funds for 2022 road program per Director Roberts.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Attached is a MFT supplemental resolution for $69,000. The increased funding request is for the fiscal year 22 road program engineering. Approval of this increase allows the design, engineering, and project bid process to be completed within fiscal year 21. Staff recommends an approval of the supplementary resolution for the expenditure of $69,000 from the motor fuel tax fund.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell,
Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. Before we go to item 10, departmental commentary, there was a young woman that had her hand raised during the citizens' comments that we didn't get to. Her name was Kate Elbert.
Albert, hi, thank you.
Sorry, Kate. Albert.
I don't know if this will get answered, but I have a question for Mr. Stack that, and I don't know if he can answer a question, but it didn't get answered in the Zoning and Planning Committee meeting. Where can we find the answers to the questions that were posed during that meeting? I've been trying to get some answers and I've been having trouble, so maybe I was just wondering if I could get an answer to that. The location of the answers to the questions that were posed at the previous Zoning and Planning Commission meeting. If you're able to answer that, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we will answer that at another time if you will give your contact information. we'll reach out to you, but citizens comment is not a time for a response from the city commissioners or our city attorneys. So we'll get that information to you. Thank you. Item number 10, departmental commentary. Director Ianson.
He's on mute.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine now, Director Ianson.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. With the cold weather, we've been receiving calls for frozen water pipes. Just a few tips for the residents. First thing you can do is turn on your cold water faucet on a drip or a trickle. Open your cabinet doors to get additional heat to the plumbing pipes. And then in addition, to make sure your garden hoses have been disconnected because ice can back up into the pipes. So hopefully those tips can assist you and we don't have the issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Ianson. Director Roberts. Director Roberts is on mute thank you.
Thank you, sir. As everybody knows, we've received almost 14 inches of snow through the last day and a half. I heard one of the citizens' comments was talking about cars parked on the street. We would like the residents to remove those. We have been finding a lot of that, which hinders our capability of plowing these streets. There's a couple streets people were calling in saying we hadn't even been down their street. We basically explained to them that we couldn't get down the street because of the parked cars. We try to go back. We don't have time to notify those. I know the police were out ticketing and helping us out on that also. But it's ultimately it's your neighbors or you that need to get those cars removed. The other thing is next week, I believe temperatures are going to start rising. I believe we have some 30, 36 and almost 40-degree days, which means some pumps are going to run. Please do not discharge these sump pumps into the alley or onto the public walk, because at night it's going to drop below and it's going to cause a lot of icing issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Roberts, and thank you for the job your public works crew has done in making sure the streets and alleyways are clear. Thank you for the work. Doesn't always get appreciated, but I did have a couple calls from some people that were patients that were going to the Cancer Research Treatment Center today. That was great comments about how the roads coming into Zion were clear for them to be able to get to their treatment. So thank you and your crew for your hard work. Administrator Naval.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. First off, I do want to say I appreciate everyone's patience as we were working through the technical issues. For anyone who's had to deal with this kind of stuff, I know you can understand the being in that seat, but appreciate you all staying with us as we work through that. A while ago, I started a series called Dollars and Cents that was a chance to educate the public. It was a monthly, at that time, in-person meeting where we covered a topic pretty in-depth, tax levies, public works operations, especially during this time of year, police operations, just general information about the city and how we operate and why we do what we do. That was put on hold during the pandemic here due to in-person meetings. However, I'm planning on re-implementing that in March, towards the end of March, using Zoom meetings. So I would just ask that everyone keep an eye out on our Facebook page as well as our website, City of Zion website, for information on that. I will be releasing probably in a couple of weeks the date, time, and the topic of conversation, and we hope to re-implement that on a monthly basis. Thank you.
Chief Barton, our newly elected police chief, sitting in on his first city council meeting as officially as the chief of police for Zion. Welcome, Chief Barton, and what comments do you have for us this evening?
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. Good evening. I'd like to acknowledge former Chief Kirk Henderson's for his 29 years of dedicated service to the City of Zion Police Department. As some of you may know, Chief Henderson retired on Friday the 12th. I was appointed by this council on the same date. Moving forward, we are completing the department transition to my command, and we'll be working to fill the vacated command positions left vacated by my promotion. And we plan to have those promotions completed next week. Speaking to Director Roberts a little bit about the cars in the roadway, we have been ticketing and removing if we could via tows. So we do encourage citizens to, I understand it's probably difficult to shovel those vehicles out, but if it gets to the point, we will have to remove those and we will tow them away. So please work on and getting those out of there if possible. We need to clear the streets. As some of you may not know, it becomes harder to clear the streets in the evening because that snow turns to ice and it's harder for the plows to get through. So please work on getting those out. Help your neighbors. Please talk to each other and provide whatever we can. We will call, or if you call us, we will try to help you if we can. Thank you.
And also in terms of street parking, if you have questions about street parking, that information is on the City of Zion website. I want to say that after 2 a.m. parking is not allowed on the streets, and that has been a policy that has been in effect for as long as I can remember being here as a kid. So those certainly stay in effect during the winter time when we have as much snow as we've had.
Yes, sir. And to speak to that a little bit, we have been, when we know there's larger snowstorms coming in, we don't allow any on-street parking. We deny those. If you do have a request for an on-street parking, you can call the dispatch center, and if approval is given, then you can park there. It's generally only for 1 or 2 days at a time. So please acknowledge that.
Good. Do we have is Chief Street on the Zoom call this evening? Our new fire chief, who was appointed several weeks ago. Is Chief Street available this evening?
I don't believe he's present, man.
Okay. Do any of our commissioners have any commentary?
Mayor, I'd just like to remind everyone that please continue to follow mask and distancing procedures. The vaccine's coming, but we're still a long ways off from getting back to normal. But in the meantime, if at all possible, support local businesses, go out to some of the restaurants. They do have some limited seating available under the restrictions, or get takeout. Every little bit helps. If you see somebody who's having problems clearing their driveway or shoveling, if you can help them out, please do. This is a tough snowfall for all of us, and hopefully we'll get past it soon. I do have a question for Director Roberts real quick. Has there been any issues with main breaks? I saw that Winthrop Harbor had a major main break a day or so ago.
Thanks for jinxing us. No, we have not. But I'm sure I will now tomorrow.
Okay, well, I'm glad I was able to help you out with that. Do you think with the shift to warmer temperatures, we're going to see any kind of subsurface heave that's going to bring out any breaks, or are you just keeping your fingers crossed on that one?
We're always keeping our fingers crossed, but I'm anticipating a few with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Any other commissioners have any comments? I would like to say, just before I begin my comments, again, from the City of Zion, our commissioners and our staff, again, our apologies for the extended delay with the technical difficulties that we've had with the Zoom call this evening. It's not acceptable by us, but these things happen. And even when you're the most prepared for circumstances, sometimes technology gets the best of us all. I've had a couple of calls and answered a couple of inquiries on Facebook about vaccinations in the City of Zion. And we've been working with the Lake County Health Department to try to set up a vaccine pod here. It's a very complicated process, and we have to enlist a lot of help of our other taxing bodies, which I've reached out to all of them about their help in doing so should vaccine become available. I noticed that North Chicago has a vaccine pod, and they were able to get that vaccine pod through their collaboration with AbbVie, which is right in their backyard. We have the Cancer Treatment Center here. We have the Park District. We have facilities, but some of the issues that we have to address before we can get a pod is having volunteers that will be available for an 8-week period. So we have been in touch with the Lake County Health Department and working with the other taxing bodies to see if that can happen here. And the biggest issue right now has been the supply or lack thereof of the vaccine. So we still continue to work on that. Another issue that one of our citizens brought up just before and at the end of 2020, Denise Lear was asking about lights. And we have been in contact with ComEd. I'm having a meeting with them this week. In fact, the rep for this area about addressing some of the street light issues that we have at darkness in areas, some of the areas so that our citizens can feel safe. We are looking at getting those lighting replaced with LED lightings, and going to talk to them about some other issues that they might be able to help us with in terms of lighting and safety concerns for our citizens. Again, my apologies for the delay. This, for me and being in the public eye for many, many years, was one of the most difficult meetings that we've ever had in terms of that with the technology. So again, I know people are frustrated. Trust me, I was just as frustrated about what happened tonight as people that have joined this call. Item number 11, announcements. On March 2nd at 7 p.m. There's a Zion City Council meeting here at Zion City Hall. Hopefully we'll have our bugs worked out with our technology by then. And March 16 at 6:15 p.m. there's a Zion Township meeting, and on March 16th, a 7 p.m. meeting of the Zion City Council. Again, thanks everyone for attending, for voicing your concerns. We heard your comments and your concerns about children in our community. That is important to us, and just know that you're being heard, and we are working to try to resolve the issues with ZLA, as I have talked to Ms. Neely about prior to everything kind of being publicized, that we were doing our best to work with them to make sure that they would have a place here. Item number 13, or actually item number 12, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second for adjournment? Second by Frierson. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fischer,
Aye.
Commissioner Frierson,
Aye.
Commissioner McDowell, Commissioner McDowell,
Commissioner McDowell is still muted.
Sorry, I wasn't allowed to unmute, so somebody just help me out there. Aye.
Mayor McKinney.
Aye. All right, everyone be safe.